Hello, so this is the Advanced Holy Priest Guide. You can also watch the beginner one if you haven't already. I mean, there's some decent stuff in there too. But this one's definitely the better one out of the two that I've made. So here's our overview. I'll be going over the BIS list, gems and enchants, logs, ICC fights and tips, professions, and Archon, which is on classic Warcraft logs. So yeah. You can also look at Wowhead because there's some good stuff in there too. But this is pretty much what I do. So here's the BIS list. Most of these items, most of them are going to be quite a pain to get. Well, two of them, for the most part. This one, the Bracers of Fiery Night and Cloak of Burning Dusk. Cause at least the Bracers, I don't know about the Cloak, but the Bracers is BIS for caster DPS and healers. So everybody. It's even BIS for Holy Pallies. Because I'm pretty sure that has N on it. But we can also go look. Yeah, so the Cloak, they're both from 25-man Heroic Hallion. Which, that's already a pain in the butt. It's just they have to drop, but then they're also highly contested. So it's going to be even more of a pain to get. But yeah. And, that's only been out, for how long? 2 months? I only saw those Bracers drop once. And it was a GDKP. All the ones that I went to were GDKPs. Those Bracers went for over 100k. This is what I was debating. Whether Trauma or Scepter of Tyrannus is better. Because, I mean, you gain spell power and haste and crit. Which haste is really awesome for Holy Priests. And you'd be close to 1,200 haste with it if you're full BIS. But then Trauma is also really good because of the proc. And mine actually procs often. And since I have the Trinket too, it's just massive AoE healing. It's amazing. Anyways, I feel like Trauma is better for AoE healing. I mean, you could switch them out, but then if you get Scepter of Tyrannus, would you really want to switch it out because it's Heroic Scepter of Tyrannus? So, enchant and gems wise, I listed the gems. As you can see here, 4 Rune Cardinal Rubies. Another one, if you have Scepter of Tyrannus. Valnier does not have a gem slot. But yeah, because Scepter of Tyrannus has a red gem slot. And then 5 Intricate Azul. 9 Quick King's Amber. 10 if you have Trauma, because it's a yellow gem slot for Trauma, which is what I have, so. Now we can go over my logs. So, the logs is going into the ICC tips and stuff. But yeah. So here are my logs. They are okay. I mean, they're fights. So my guild's a casual guild, and the fights that I need improvement on for heroic are the ones my guild has not done yet. So Putricide, Council, Lich King. But then I can get I can get better on Rotface, Blood Queen, and Death Whisper. And Marigard. All the ones that are purple, I mean, I can do better. But yeah. It's painful. My normal ones, I think the reason I was doing so well is because I was 6.2, 6.3 when I did these. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah. I'm actually proud of myself. This was I've gotten in 399s on normal Cindergosa now. But then I actually got a 90. It was a 98, and then it settled at a 97 because it's rude. Anyways, I got first on healing that one. We'll go over that in a second. As you can see. So then, let me close this. Now, so this is the ICC tips and what I heal, how I heal on specific fights. So, I was looking over these last night. I was actually surprised because I have not looked over these yet. Because I just spam heal. I actually don't run out of mana often. Because, my mana cooldowns. The only one that I run out of mana The only fight in ICC that I run out of mana and have mana issues on is Blood Queen. If it's high DPS, I burn all my cooldowns and I'm almost out of mana, but I still have like 10% mana. But if it's like lower DPS, I'm out of mana and I need an innervate. Cause like, if it's high DPS, I don't need an innervate at all because I have my own mana cooldowns. I prefer to have an innervate instead of wasting time casting Divine, or not Divine Hymn. That's the healing one. Hymn of Hope. Yeah. As we can see, so we're going over, this is Marrogar. I think I clicked on Marrogar, right? Yeah, Marrogar. So I was actually surprised by this. I only cast Circle of Healing 9 times, but it did the most out of all my other spells. So, and Paramending's good too, because it did 150k. But like, this was mostly because during Bone Storm, Flash Heal was because I was helping heal the tanks. And then Renew was because the Bone Spikes, and I put them on some people before Bone Storm. And then I prayer healing during Bone Storm a few times. If needed, like if people are below 80%, like 70 or 80 or 75%, I'll prayer healing that group, like the whole party is. But if it's one person like that, I'll just flash heal them. But if they're above, like the whole group, or just people are above that much, I will circle healing them. But yeah, so yeah, and as you can see, these are the spells that I use. So, going on to, like, some tips for Marrogar. Before Bone Spikes come out, even if you don't get Bone Spiked, but, like, right before, put a Renew on yourself. So, just in case, because, like, some people have died, at least in 10-mans. Like, I've died once, especially put a Renew on yourself before. Just make sure you don't die. And it just helps the other healer, too. So they can help heal the raid, especially if you're Bone Spiked, like, and they're not going down fast enough and Bone Storm's out. Because I think that does damage to you while you're Bone Spiked. Prayer Mending on the tanks, that's a good precast. And Wowhead also says this, but getting your, like, casting Flash Heal until that proc. Anyway, so Inspiration is really good, like, just to, like, Wowhead says this, I think I said that already, but it helps for a cleaner pull. Because, like, on Hallian, I don't know if it's physical damage, though. But he just the tanks just take a big chunk of health the first smack. And they're sitting there for, like, a little while, but, like, not enough where they die. But, you know. So, helping with a better pre-pull casts would be putting Renew on the tank, same as Paramending. Yeah, Renew on all the active tanks. That's what Wowhead says. And stuff like that. And getting Inspiration to proc on Flash Heal. Because once you get it to proc, I don't remember the exact timer on it for how long it lasts. But you should be able to drink again to get mana. So you're full mana, but you still have them. Or you can pop a mana pot if you're rich and have a ton of gold. You can just pop a mana pot so it'll be on cooldown later. Anyway, that's only if you run out a ton of mana just casting that. But if you're doing like a ton of ICC 25-man heroics, you shouldn't be running out of mana that much because your gear should be pretty decent at that point. Because at least for me, I don't know if it's my style healing, but I only ever run out of mana if the fight's really long or I'm gearing a Holy Priest. Because, like, I'm gearing my 3rd Holy Priest. She doesn't have the tier. None of her gear is gemmed or enchanted or anything. Anyway, if you don't have, like, near full base or anything that's, like, well put together and good for your spec and class, mana is quite an issue for Holy Priests. But yeah. So, oops, wrong thing. I'm not talking about that until later. But yeah, so now, moving on to Lady Death Whisper. So this was actually the 24th. So the reason I did so well is because at the very freaking end, all the other healers were dead. The very end. So as we can see, circle healing because people were getting hit by ghosts. That's how people were dying. And the rogues were getting like mind controlled or something and using phantom knives. But yeah. So circle healing and renew, keeping renew on everybody in the tanks and stuff. I had to use divine him at some point. But it hit 100. No, that's empowered renew. Empowered renew is very helpful. You should have it. Oh, no wonder, because cast it 152 times. The hit of empowered renew was 152 times. Anyway, this is an example. This trinket, it would have been even worse if we didn't have this trinket, dude. But yeah, so prayer healing I did hit a few times. It wasn't too many times, it was only 3. But that's because I was mostly using instant casts and flash heal. Some ad was picking on me. It was a ranged ad. I wonder if it would have helped if I went closer to it. Because sometimes it's good to range tank or... Because, like, there's a boss in Nex. One of the bosses on 4 Horsemen. Like, I tanked it on my druid, on my resto druid. Just standing really close to him. And boom. Anyway. Yeah. So, then... yeah, prayer mending stuff. Like, this... The spells that I cast would be different if we weren't having problems with people getting hit by ghosts in melee and nearly killing the whole raid. And then moving on to... Let's actually swap the order of these to make my life easier. Sarfing. I'm proud of this one. I actually kicked butt. But yeah. So... I pressed a 95. That's what it shows on the whole thing. But then this says 94. Because it's rude. So the first poll, I thought I was going to do even better. Because I was chosen for the mark. I was spamming binding heal. Because, like, I never knew this until I saw somebody, like, I was looking on YouTube. And I saw this person doing Holy Priest POV for some of these fights. And on some of the fights where they were taking damage and somebody else was taking damage, they'd bind and heal, and then they both get healed up. Because at first, I thought bind and heal was kind of crap. But then I was like, wait, it's actually not that bad. So now every time I get the mark on Sarfang, I'm happy because I can spam bind and heal. The only problem is that you're going to need an innervate, and you're going to have to use all your mana cooldowns and everything. Just in case if you do get the mark, the first mana cooldown I would use is Hymn of Hope. Because it's gonna get, like, every time you get hit with the mark, it's gonna cancel it. Unless you have a shield. But the shield's not gonna last long because the mark does so much. Anyways, because Bind and Heal takes a lot of mana. It's like similar mana that not circle healing. Prayer of Healing does. So yeah. And you can see, because this is a mostly single target fight. Like Renew, I was putting Renew on everybody that had the thing. Prayer mending and spamming flash heal to help. I did use Twilight Renewal because everybody was taking damage. Like we had like 4 marks and then we DI'd somebody. So now we have this. Festergut. I have not, like, I feel like I do crap on Festergut. I don't know why. It's like 82. It's the best I've done. A 9, like a little, like 9,000 HPS. A little more than 9,000. Flash heal's actually surprising. I think that's because my dad got the malleable goo, like it hit him, so then I had to help heal the tank. But yeah, I'm mostly healing the tank. This was a fairly old one. I've been experimenting with my healing ones, and for some reason this one worked the best. Flash heal, prayer healing, circle healing, renew occasionally. Renew was up 82.54% of the time. It overhealed 70% though, which is disappointing. Even though this is an AoE damage fight, my single target spell was doing the most because I was healing the tank, which is interesting. But now moving on. So what I recommend is like if you have 2 holy pallies and then a holy priest, if you're 3 heal it. The holy pally should have the tanks covered, so you just renew, circle healing, prayer of healing, prayer mending, divine hymn when needed, if you're the only raid healer. Pallies, they could probably have the tanks beaconed and then holy light other people to help too, if that's how they want to do it. If you're 3 healing, 1 AoE healer, 2 tank healers. But yeah, or you could technically do 1 holy pally and then 2 AoE healers, like you, a disc priest, and a holy pally. But yeah, anyways, because we were running 1 holy pally. So yeah, I was helping heal the tanks. My Guardian Spirit did not proc, but I'm pretty sure I did put Guardian Spirit at some point. So yeah. Then there's Rot Face. If people do mechanics properly, things are getting instantly dispelled. The tank, for the most part, should be the only one taking damage. So a disc priest too, if the damage is minimal, then you can just do all the healing. You could honestly like 2 or 3 heal. The reason that I am super, like, 1, we were 4 healing this too, but what I did, because there was hardly any AoE damage, I was just renewing the tanks, people who had the plague, dispelling that. Next is Professor Putricide. This is like sometimes AoE, especially towards the end, so like renewing people's good to do. So like what I did the most was renew, and then flashing on the tanks to help out. Prayer mending because it jumps around the raid, and if it's AoE damage. Circle healing when you get hit by, like, if the green news pushes you back. Because circle healing, just target yourself, and circle healing heals everyone around you. If you're doing it right, where you're all getting pushed the same direction, because then it helps a ton. Fountain of Light and stuff. That's trauma. Trauma's definitely a really good option to get for a main hand. Because the proc, like, when I first got it, I was kind of unlucky with the procs. But that's because my healing style was a lot different. So I wasn't casting as much. But now that I'm casting, like, heavy renew, that's what I'm mostly casting. Like, 105 renews on Professor Putricide. And 20 and 36 and 2 and 1. Those were the other casts. And everything else was just whatever. It procs so much more if you cast a ton of instant casts. Because Flash Heal, it takes time. Like, especially if it's over your global cooldown, so you're not getting that many casts out as fast. So if you're just spamming Flash Heal and your cast is 1.5, the time that you cast 2 Flash Heals, you could have gotten 3 renews out. Or out Council. My guild hates this in 10-man, like even in 10-man, because just this is a pain in the butt. Circle healing, because there was a ton of AoE damage going out. Renew, because there was a ton of AoE damage going out. Prayer mending, because there was a ton of AoE damage going out. And circle healing, too. Prayer mending, I mostly put on the tanks first and then jumped to other raid members. And then when the empowered vortex was going out, I was doing stuff, yeah. Prayer of healing, because 1, people were dying because the orbs were falling. Fountain Light actually procced a decent amount and stuff like that. So yeah, this was a messier fight, so like everything was doing similar because I was having to use it evenly practically. Blood Queen? I struggle with Blood Queen. I mean, like, I do fairly decent, but I'm not like 83. So if we look, Renew makes sense because it's an AoE fight. I only prayer healing when I need to because it takes a ton of mana, and then binding heal too because it takes a ton of mana. Fountain Light's nice. Divine Hymn helps too. Like, I use it because it's like people in general, they don't get too, they don't take too much damage. Not during, like, they don't take too much damage outside of the air phase. So like if people are too close, Divine Hymn helps. But yeah. Mostly because you get hit during it on those AoE fights, so it's kind of sad. Bubble would help. If only Pallies had Divine Hymn or Priests had Bubble, because then you could just bubble yourself and then Divine Hymn. Anyways, so as we can see here, Fear Warding's good because then you can either Master Spell or just single target. Disc is like the best one to Master Spell for because it's insanely fast. Volithria. So Greater Heal and Flash Heal because it's a single target fight. Renew too, Blessed of Healing and Pad Renew. I only use Circle Healing sometimes on Volithria because at least it hits her. It's good to just hit Circle Healing off cooldown. Twilight Renewal and Fountain of Light. I hit my Trinket just to help heal Volithria, but then also heal the raid because it was getting a little iffy out there. But yeah. So my Greater Heal and Flash Heal, it's supposed to be 1-to-3 ratio. It generally is. Sometimes I accidentally cast more than 3 Flash Heals and then a Greater Heal. And then I also spam Greater Heal at the end. Before getting stacks, I'd recommend to just spam Flash Heal because it's not really worth it for Greater Heal because it just helps to heal. Like, you heal faster. If you put Guardian Spirit up on pole, you'll have it up again after going out of the portals. And it lasts 10 seconds, so it's good because then the portals won't spawn yet. So you can just spam heal and you get 2 Guardian Spirits instead of 1 in just that short amount of time. But yeah. So don't make a mistake like me and not put Guardian Spirit up the first time and save it. Don't save it. Guardian Spirit immediately on pole, and then it'll be up again after going in the stacks for after getting 5 stacks after going in the portal once. Or healing outside. Paramedic and renewing on people, Flash Heal and heal the tanks. And heal Volithria when there's not really much damage going on. And still put Guardian Spirit. Like, if you're running 2 Holy Priests, one's going in the portals because they have a better spec than the AoE spec, and then one's going out of staying out, you can save your Guardian Spirit, because you can't put Guardian Spirit on Volithria right after each other, because I think they did it specifically for that fight, so you can just let the Holy Priest that's going in the portals put Guardian Spirit on Volithria, and then you could, if you're out of the portals, you can just put Guardian Spirit on it, save it, or, put it, the tank's gonna die, Guardian Spirit then. Syndragosa. I'm actually proud of myself for this one. Putting Renew on everybody. That's what I do. And then prayer healing during the final phase if people are below, if they're 75% and below, that's when I'm prayer healing. Twilight Renewal helps a ton too. I'm mostly renewing everybody. And in the first phase, you can cast with whatever it's called, Unchained, as long as you time it right and you don't get sucked in and then kill the whole raid. Because with the buff now, it won't kill everybody entirely. But yeah. So then, yeah, there's Divine Hymn. Divine Hymn I used because somebody exploded the whole raid. We all almost died. Luckily, nobody died because I used Divine Hymn, and then people all And then there's, because it doesn't cost too much mana, I don't think. Wonder how much I overhealed. Okay, I think most of that overhealing was in the first phase. Because, like, nobody was at 100% in the second phase. Now, moving on to Heroic Lich King. I've only killed Heroic Lich King twice on my Priest and once on my Druid. I've gotten average parses. Because blue is average, and then purple's above average, and then orange is really good, and then pink's really amazing. Like, close perfect, and then gold perfect. The first time I did it, I was also in second. Renew, because Renew was like really, like mostly instant cast AoE spells during the ground in Frostmourne, and also spamming prayer healing 2 during transition phase 2. Like, not spamming it, but hitting it when you need to. People are low. And putting renew on people too helps. And then there's also, sorry if you can hear my ice. It's in my soda. This I Holy Nova because it also healed a tiny bit, but I was helping people not die because they were getting dragged by the Valkyr, and literally on the freaking edge is when the Valkyr ended up getting hit 50% or whatever it was. But yeah, I died twice. So my Spirit of Redemption, I was in it twice. My Twilight Renewal actually did more than my prayer healing. The amount of healing that there is on this fight. 5 healing it. We 5 healed it. But then I've been in groups where they tried 6 healing it and we still wiped. Because mechanics. But then we also successfully 6 healed it. But that's because we were running 2 disc priests. But then that was that group that. But then I think. So the run that I go to occasionally. I occasionally go to it. Like, I don't. Because I think that time. So the first time I got in, we 4 healed it just fine. Like, it wasn't a healing problem at all. But then the time that I went in, like, 2 days ago, that I got in, we 5 healed it, and I'm pretty sure they had us 5 healed to let me in. That's what my mom said, because they were probably like, they squeezed me in to be nice. Because it'd suck if your mom gets rostered, but then you don't. Even though you've gone there and bought a ton of stuff before. Anyways, they let me in at 6.2, and then I became 6.4 the year I got from there. Anyways, I'm 3 gear score away from 6.5. It's kind of sad. So then there is, yeah, so that's Heroic Lich King and stuff like that. I had fun watching these. I spent like an hour watching this marathon. It was fun. So if we hit play, this is during Hero. We heroed like off the rib. You can see me. Where am I standing? I'm standing right there. I try to not move too much because it's not really. I try not to move too much unless there's fire on the ground because it's not really necessary to move a lot, and it also helps like, especially like if you're an ally shaman, you see the ally shaman running right there. You cast a lot. Like, there's not a lot of instant casts you can do. Me and this hunter are just chilling there. I don't know why. I should have run. We had 1 hunter. I thought we had 2 hunters at the time. So if we go to the meters, actually. Oh, did you see me in first there for a second? I was kicking butt. Anyway, now I'm catching up even more in first. No, Flirtus, no! Fleur-de-Lis. I can never say their name right. Okay. Now, come on. Him and I are fighting for first. Anyway. I think I'm in first at the end. Because we get another bone. Yeah, see. And then I start getting more in first. Here it is. So Yeah. So this is we can actually look at the healing done. It makes sense. I always suck at healing at the very beginning, but then long-term healing, I end up doing like fairly well. Even though I'm a holy priest, and then people think that holy priests run out of mana really easy. Profession-wise, I have engineering and tailoring. Before that, I had alchemy and tailoring, but then when the first time I raided with Blitz, they preferred I had engineering because they didn't want a bad defile and heroic Lich King because they were speedrunning that time. So this is the tier. This is the kind of like this is percentage of gear that people had. I'm gonna look over this and share my opinion on this because some of this does not make sense. Okay, so tier wise, this makes sense. I don't know why 41.3% of holy priests have this. So main hand trauma makes sense because trauma is OP. It's amazing. Valnir to the 16.2% holy priests that have Valnir. I'm envious of you. I was gonna get it, but then we weren't able to. And it was a shame. And then Sundial of Eternal Dusk, the offhands. I have that. It's Biss, but then before I got that, I had the normal Shadow Silk Spindle for the longest time. I'm actually surprised. But I guess it makes sense because most of the disc priests, like most of the holy priests, they're either holy and shadow or disc main spec and then holy off spec. But that I'm opposite because I'm holy main spec and then shadow off spec. So yeah, so what I'm surprised about is that so many people have Nightmare Ender. I mean, I get it because Corpse Impaling Spike is Biss for other people, but it has haste on it and crit and spell power. But then, like, holy priests want haste first. That's the thing that you're supposed to prioritize. But the Nightmare Ender doesn't have haste on it. It's just crit and spell power, and there's not even a difference between the numbers. 38 crit, 58 spell power, 38 crit, 58 spell power, and then Corpse Impaling Spike has bonus 30 haste on it. But then it does make sense because this has 30 spirit and this doesn't. But then it's either haste and you cast more or get more spell power. Outdoors Abacus, I was the last person in my guild to get this, and same as for Solus, I was also the last person in my guild to get this. Two pugs won this before I did, and then this only dropped 3 times in my guild. Actually, no, 4 times. Once after I got it. But yeah, it was insane and sad. I had this for the longest time before I got Outdoors Abacus. And then I replaced my Solus with this. And it's the heroic one. And it's beautiful. And I spent like 84k for it. Okay, yeah. It was amazing. It was such a big upgrade. And then one of my guildies even said they were envious of my trinket. And then, yeah. So, Ashen Band of Endless Wisdom. I had this for the longest time. I haven't looked at the Biss list for Shadow yet, but it was Biss for Holy Priest until Hellion came out. Because then it's Memory Malgos and Ring of Phase Regeneration, which I had them both. Because I like, literally, the boots, some melee boots or something, and then the healing ring and the healing trinket dropped. I got both the healing ring and the healing trinket at the same run. I spent like 130k or something. But yeah. It was a good 138k or whatever, 130k spent. Because it got me up to 6.4. And then I got my belt. So then I was like 460. And then I got a mark 2 days ago. And then now I'm 3 gear score away from 6.5. And my mom's 6.5. Then her holy set's 6.1 though. Because she's shadow main. But yeah. So I had Memory Malgos for the longest time. And Heroic Memory Malgos. Like, I didn't even get normal Memory Malgos because it never dropped. Like, the first Memory Malgos I got was normal Memory Malgos on my Druid. But then on my Holy Priest, I went from having some ring from TOGC to getting Memory Malgos. It was beautiful. Anyway. Actually, no. I had a ring from TUGC. Or 245 ring, I think. And then I got the 277 ring off Marigar's Frigid Eye. And then I got Memory Malagos. Anyway, but yeah, so I have both the Bis rings, Memory Malagos. And this bonus stats on Ring of Phase Regeneration make up for the Ashen Bane of Endless Wisdom proc. The helm makes sense because that's the tier piece. The Nick, I got this on my Druid. I never saw this pendant drop until after I got my Bis one. Because I would have gotten, because this, like, I got on my Druid, like, the first week of doing Heroic Marigar, but then I never saw it again. Like, it kept dropping on my Druid multiple times when I already had it. But then I never saw it at all until I won it in a guild run when I was the only one who reserved it. But anyway, yeah, so there's that. Because if this dropped, I would have gotten this and then my Sentinel's Amulet, because this would have been an upgrade, because I had, like, a 245 one. No, I had WotLK and then I got the 264 BOE neck off Blood Queen. But yeah, so I had this for a while, but not the 277 one. I had this, WotLK stuff. I had this on my Druid for the longest time. So I got a neck out of 10-man CGC on my Druid. But yeah, anyway. Shoulders make sense because that's like the best thing ever. The cloak is what I have now. I had... Which one did I have? The one that I had before I got Great Cloak of the Turn Champion's not even on this list. What's the other one off of Noob? Not Jaina's Radiance. I think it was the Alliance version of this. I should check because I probably have it in my bag still. Maiden's Favor? No. What was the one that I had? I don't know. Anyway, it was one off Noob and then I got this. I had a 264 one from the vendor and then I got Sangeline Silk Robes. I literally had that one from the vendor since like the 3rd week of ICC being out. I have these. I got these a while. I bought these for 50k when they were Bis, but then they got replaced with the ones from Hallian. Now I'm sad. 50k wasted, but also these are pretty nice. I have the normal ones on my Tiny Priest on Natalia. Circle of Osis, I've had this for the longest time until I got my Bis one like 3 weeks ago. But then I let this sell for 15k on my Baby Priest because I already bought something else for like 30k. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend too much money. But dude, I let it go for 15k and I'm like, it hardly ever drops. Even though it has a 6.42% chance to drop. So I'm bringing Natalia to my guild run tonight. So hopefully it drops. Anyway, and then this makes sense. This makes sense too. The boots I'm actually like... This is Bis for a ton of other peeps. And I've seen it drop like 3 times now. On all my characters. On all 3 of my characters. They dropped once. I've seen them drop once for each character. I saw on my Druid. Chance Gems. This all makes sense, but I don't understand why I have this. Wait, why? I mean, it's okay, but wouldn't you want the tailoring one better? I mean, as a holy priest, you can levitate yourself, so it's like, there's no point in this. Brilliant Spell Thread makes sense. I sadly am not a engineering awesome. This makes sense, and then I also made the same mistake on this one too. This stuff makes sense. That's great and stuff. I actually never knew that this existed, and apparently it's a PvP chant. I should use this on my Druid, even though I don't, and I'm dumb because I don't. Consumables. This all makes sense. This is good. if like on Valithria you're going in the portals, you're not gonna need a mana pot at all. So you can either use that or the haste one. But anyway, I hope this helped, and I'm sorry if this is a little longer. This is gonna take me hours to edit this, because this right now we're going on an hour and 46 minutes of video of me just talking and showing stuff. But yeah, so hopefully this helped. I can make a better one, like not a better one, because I mean I feel like this is the best I can do. But if you guys have any questions, I can answer them, or I can even make a video answering them. But yeah, so hopefully this helps. And yeah, if you haven't watched the beginner one, there is actually some helpful points in the beginner one. Because I mean, you can just go watch the beginner one too. Anyway, I'm sorry if my voice is annoying. I'm trying. And I'm really self-conscious about my voice. So I'm being really brave right now, talking and posting this. So anyway, thank you for watching. I have a raid in like 15 minutes. So bye!